Okay, guys, alternate ending. Take 43.
With so many movies on the net and TV, it's kinda hard being up and film savvy. Do you catch a show while you're on the go? And how do you know what to keep or what to throw? How do you know what to keep or what to throw? Tune in, tune in, tune in to alternate ending. Tune in, tune in, tune in to alternate ending. Now! Please give a warm welcome to the hosts of Alternate Ending.
Welcome to Alternate Ending. We're discovering good movies, one bad movie at a time. I'm film school dropout Robert Jarosinski. Across from me is our casual moviegoer Carrie Jarosinski and our very own critic in residence Tim Brayton. With Ready Player One hitting theaters this weekend, we're looking at everything.
So here's what disappoints me.
Yeah.
I thought your pun.
This was a setup?
I was waiting for your pun, and I thought, like, here's the pun I came up with Ready Player One logging into theaters.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You log into a game? Not really.
Well, you log into the network that you play games on.
Sure.
Putting my quarter in, too, this weekend.
What's the button that you hit on the controller to get it going?
Start.
Oh, yeah.
Starting into theaters?
Yeah.
Bit of a mess.
Anyway.
We need a pun writer.
We need a pun writer.
Is what we need.
Well,
We're
you're
hiring.
a pun writer, but you just like, with a movie opening in theaters, like, what the hell? That's not even half of a
I'll
pun.
do a better job for next week. But because it's directed by... I don't know if he's one of our favorites. We'll find that out soon. But we're looking at everything Steven Spielberg with our top 5 Steven Spielberg movies. But first, Carrie, you and I are heading out of town this
Colorado.
weekend. Colorado.
Somebody
Mountain
burped.
High.
Spring break.
There's a weird smell in here.
Yeah, I did burp.
Gross.
You made some avocado with peppers and onions.
No, keep it in.
So this is where we're taking the
Sorry,
the
it's just
intro.
like really offensive.
I blame you.
It's really offensive. All right, sorry, move along.
So we had 2 helpings of it.
Oh, it's still coming at me.
For God's sake,
It's
so you're
still
going to
coming at
Colorado.
me. Oh, sorry.
So it's in Colorado.
Sorry.
My family. That's where I'm from originally.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, I feel like if you're going to celebrate spring break, you don't want to go like party with your parents.
That's true.
You wanna
Yeah,
go
so
down
did
to
you already say who
Cabo and,
they're-
like, flash people?
No, so we're going to go, our family, our 2 girls, Abby now 6 and 3, going to go see their grandma and grandpa. And as well, Carrie, your parents are already there,
My
probably
parents.
drinking it up.
Oh, so the in-laws are currently
yeah.
hanging out?
It's not
Are
good.
you sure that there is still a house that has not yet been burned to the ground?
I am not sure. What
Find that out before you drive all the way to
I will. What ultimately happens at these occasions is that our dads get together, and day one they're gonna go all out on the whiskey for sure. They're gonna stay up till like 2:00 in the morning.
So in-laws and hard liquor. This
Totally,
sounds like
totally.
the best.
To make it even more fun, it's a 3-bedroom home, and we're also bringing Carrie's sister and brother-in-law and their 2 kids too. So all
What
jam-packed.
could go wrong, really?
Nothing bad's
I
gonna
don't
happen
think anything
there.
weird's gonna happen.
Sounds perfect.
What are you doing, Tim? Spring break.
I am writing research papers because spring break is more of a sort of conceptual thing than a real thing for grad students.
Catch up. It's catch up.
Basically, it's catch up. I'm way the hell far behind. I have a paper due in like 3 weeks that I have not quite yet even picked a topic for, so that'll be my week.
Are you gonna do lots of movie reviews on the website?
Gonna try to.
Well, you just put one out today.
I
Was
did.
it Kaiwan? What was
Kwaidan.
it? Kwaidan.
A Patreon request for yourself.
Yeah, I read your review. It's intriguing. 4.5 stars.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Would I like it? Or Rob?
I wouldn't say no.
Horror. It's a horror movie.
It's
okay.
It's a horror-ish. It's a ghost story that's not really scary. It's good. It's
sounds
worth
good.
seeing.
All
It's
right.
really worth seeing.
There should be some other movies likely we're seeing that I have not seen because I have not been doing a good job keeping up with my movie
Yeah,
watching.
this was a rough week.
It was a tough week, I think, for a lot of us. But let's go into the worth mentioning segment in case some of us, other than me, has a movie worth talking about. What is the worth mentioning segment of the movies we've seen since the last episode? These are the ones we want to talk about most. They could be great movies. They could be terrible. We share them either way. Carrie, how many movies did you put away this week?
How many?
Was it more than my 0?
No. It wasn't. It was the same.
All right.
Zero.
Both laid a goose egg.
So Rob was having like a nutty work week. And so admittedly, every night I was trying to will myself to watch a movie by myself because Rob's like, I just can't do it. I can't focus and watch at the same time. And so I was like, yeah, sure. You go do your thing and I'm going to go watch a movie for our podcast. And then there's this show I found called Ugly Delicious. Have either of you guys seen this?
No.
No.
Well, I saw it while working, kind of.
You kind of watched it in the
corner of my
background?
eye, yeah.
So it's this food show, and I won't go into it too much, but I'm totally sucked in and absorbed. David Chang's the chef that goes around the world and tries unique food from different cultures, and I'm a little bit hooked. So it's going to be hard to get back on movies.
So is Ugly Delicious a binary? Like food can be one thing or the other?
I don't actually know why they call it
Is
that.
it things that look ugly but are delicious?
It's actually not applicable at all to the show. Like it's
Right.
everything's. He goes into homes and he goes into. It's not the fanciest restaurants, but some of them are. It's a mix.
If you like Anthony Bourdain, this is like
So
This is
it's
an
a
Asian
Bourdain
Anthony
it's a
Bourdain.
thing. Yeah.
But I love it. I love watching
Does he
it.
curse wantonly the way that Bourdain
Not
curses?
quite as bad,
That's
but
the
they're
thing I
definitely
like about
sprinkled.
Bourdain.
No, they're sprinkled.
Okay.
It's like you. It's like you don't see it coming, and you're like, whoa, and then it makes you
Sure.
chuckle a little bit because you're like, well, that was like subtle, but alarming at the same time.
Sounds pretty fucking cool.
It is. See, and then I do that. I giggle when I'm watching the show because you're like, oh. But he addresses other like societal, social norm things with food. I don't know. It's really good. So anyway, if you ever are not watching a movie and you like food shows, it's a good one to check out on Netflix.
But you should be watching movies. That's
should
what
be
we,
watching
that's what
movies.
all of us
Starting
should be doing.
tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow, we're gonna do
Get
it
back
right.
at it.
Tim,
Yeah.
how about you? How many movies since last episode?
Not too terribly many at all, and really none worth talking about. The only one that I sort of decided, okay, well, this would be worth bringing up. So for tonight's episode, I decided to patch the remaining holes in my Spielberg knowledge. And one of the ones that I watched was Steven Spielberg's first professionally made short film, 1968's Amblin, which is the film that gave the title to his production company, Amblin Entertainment.
I had no idea.
And it's available on YouTube in a horrible copy. I mean, it looks like it was put in a washing machine, but it is available if you want to watch it. 25 minutes, I think like 25 and a half minutes long. And, you know, it's not terribly good. It's very well shot by Alan Daviau, who would go on to shoot E.T. the Extraterrestrial and Color Purple and Empire of the Sun for Spielberg. Maybe I'm forgetting one as well. Beautifully shot. A lot of really cool silhouettes, some really good campfire stuff. It's this wordless story about two hippies who are hitchhiking, and then they sort of hook up and keep hitchhiking together, and then they get to California, and life is good because it's the 60s, man. And free love. So, you know, it's very clearly a little exercise. He was given money by Universal basically to prove he could make a movie. He was 22 years old at the time and made a movie. And, you know, that's how he got his career. So, you know, not terribly interesting. It's not going to be anywhere remotely near my top 5, but it exists. It's free on the internet, so go check it out.
And good to see where he starts, kind of thing.
Exactly. It'll make you feel, film students of the world, it will make you feel much better about yourself because you can probably make every bit as good a film as Steven Spielberg did in 1968.
Is it better or worse than your zombie short?
Well, the zombie short's incomplete, so I don't think it's fair to compare the two of them.
Okay. But if you had to say.
I will say that I think the makeup effects in my zombie short were better.
Interesting.
Do you feel like the playing field has been leveled? Like a 22-year-old Spielberg, pretty lucky to be given the breaks that I feel like he.
Oh, for sure. The thing is, I think that Spielberg's path to success cannot happen anymore. Like, there's just not a mechanism for it. And so film students of today are, I think, unlikely to have his kind of, not that anyone ever was likely to have his kind of career. So I think it's easier to make films, but it's harder to like get that kind of early success unless you're some, you know, absolutely flailing lucky idiot asshole like Colin Trevorrow.
What kind of breaks are you talking about?
Well, I mean, Spielberg was 26 when he was 22 when he got money just to prove he could make a film. He was 26 when he started making actual like feature-length projects and made Jaws before he turned 30.
So, but it wasn't really a break. It was Jaws was awesome. So it was like he came out of the gate.
It was a break in that, I mean, he was very young and had very little experience when Universal just started funneling money towards him.
Damien Chazelle's like the only thing that can
Damien Chazelle's a good example.
Of like another one where like that's
Damien Chazelle hustled. I actually had an opportunity to listen to him talk a couple weeks ago. He came to UW-Madison, and he worked. I mean, he got lucky by all means. He got almost unbelievably lucky with Whiplash, but he was hustling. He was writing every screenplay that came across his desk, no matter how shitty the scenario was, just to like get stuff.
So you put in the work.
Yep.
That's right.
Well, now you've whet my appetite for some more Steven Spielberg later on the episode.
Colin Trevorrow just sort of fell ass backwards into directing Jurassic World, and then fell even further ass backwards into directing Star Wars 9.
I still like his first. What's his first?
Safety Not Guaranteed. I'm glad that Book of Henry was so unbelievably fucking bad that it banished him from Star Wars. I think that was better
he did that one too.
for the good of the world.
Yeah.
That was him.
Quality.
We'll be, you can find more about, I'm all over the place. You can find more details about all the movies we've watched at our website, alternateending.com. That's alternateending.com. Before we head to our break, you might be wondering about ways to support the show. If you want access to exclusive content, make us watch a movie, pick your own episode topic, you can do it all from our Patreon page. Also, I want to thank all of our listeners who support the show and make their Amazon purchases through our site. Doing it is easy. Just go to our website, alternateending.com, click on the Amazon banner, and seamlessly go about your purchases. All proceeds go to making our show better. Since our last episode, here are the things that were purchased. Tim, you're going to have to walk me through this one. Not familiar with it, but I'm interested. The Elgato Game Capture HD for Xbox, PlayStation, high-definition game recorder for Mac and PC.
Sounds pretty straightforward to me.
So are these like the
so you can record your video game?
So like for like high scores and stuff, right? Or
well, I mean, for high scores, there's a genre of YouTube video that is apparently very popular. I haven't watched any of these. They're called like Let's Play videos or something like that. And basically, if you are not a gamer, like you cannot perform the mechanical tasks required to be good at gaming, you can still watch the game being played and therefore have a secondary access to the pleasures of the game experience.
Is it weird that I get off on that? Like, I don't play anymore,
Yeah,
but
that's weird.
I love watching other people play. I love getting the
I would say
anxiety.
it's very weird that "get off" is the word.
That
you
is
chose
not
to
the right
describe.
word. He loves
Depends on the
watching me
game.
play Nintendo.
Yeah. Like
for
I'll tell you what,
sure.
those Kirby games with the little pink guy, I totally whack it to the Kirby.
You guys are gross. Yeah, Rob will sit there and watch me. And here's the weird thing. I don't know what your gaming style is. When I play Mario, I want to play oh gosh. When I play Mario, I want to be alone. I don't like the
I
pressure.
mean, I clearly want to be alone.
For other reasons. I need privacy to get to the end, Stop.
do I.
Just stop. Just like move along to the next thing.
Also had some.
I'm sorry, you just like
I left the
you teed
door
that
open.
one up.
I know. I saw it
Speaking of
coming.
leaving things open,
Also had some office products purchased. The Mepiplex soft silicone absorbent foam dressing 4x4.
speaking of soft silicone,
Tim's been overserved.
Some DVDs and instant videos purchased on DVD. We had Jurassic Park, the 25th anniversary collection on Blu-ray. Someone else getting ready
Godzilla.
for.
it is the 25th anniversary.
Yeah,
isn't
I'm
it?
feeling
That's
really old.
Really old.
It's pretty fucking old, man.
To counter that, some Tremors, a Cold Day in Hell Blu-ray. That must be.
I think that's
like
Tremors 5. I think maybe it's
Wow.
Tremors 6. There's a lot of Tremors at this point.
Then on instant video had Night Moves.
Oh, okay. I've never seen it. I've heard good things. I think that's an Arthur Penn.
Okay. And then two Amazon free movie channels. That's a great way if you don't know, Amazon allows you to do free Amazon movie channels to test out like an HBO, a Showtime, a Cinemax, find other great movies. That really helps us out a lot. So if you're interested, sign up for the couple week trial, and then cancel if you don't like it. That's what we do.
Or forget to.
Or forget
Rob
to.
also
We
does
also do that.
Yeah. We.
When we get back, our top 5 Steven Spielberg movies. And welcome back to Alternating. We're talking about our top 5 Steven Spielberg movies. Tim,
Yes.
as a film major yourself,
A film major who
On the
happens
same
to share Steven Spielberg's birthday.
Is it
December
really?
18th. Yeah, he was born 1946. I was born. What year was I born? 1981. It's real sad that I know his birth year better than my own.
so Carrie, you forgot Steven Spielberg's birthday also. Then.
Yeah.
No, I knew what his birthday
Oh, you
was.
sent them a
Yeah,
card?
I sent him a card, yeah.
And did you send Brad Pitt a card?
No, I'm mad at him.
Same day.
Yeah, I heard he's not that great of a dad. So he got one the year before, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay to say legendary director, right? Is that?
I think
is
if
that fitting?
any living director is legendary, it is Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
I'd agree with you.
Have you seen a lot of his of his flicks?
I've seen one or two. So, Ready Player One will be the 31st theatrically released Steven Spielberg feature. And when I say theatrically released, I'm very deliberately like sort of couching that to eliminate a couple things. He did do 3 TV movies, most famously Duel, which was released theatrically in Europe, but not in America, which since America was the country it was made in and it was made by an American, I'm not counting it as a theatrical feature. So he made 3 TV movies, 30 theatrical features, a handful of shorts, only one of which was professional, Amblin from 1968, which we just talked about. He made some shorts as a child, though. And he also contributed a segment to The Twilight Zone, the movie, in 1983, and he's done a handful of TV episodes. So, I think we could probably say 33 features and not feel like we have said something terrible.
Okay.
And I have seen 31 of them.
Oh, you beat me.
So as of if not as of yesterday, right? 31 or whenever you caught the last, you said you were catching up on
feature. He said feature.
The features. So I just saw Amblin. I just saw Twilight Zone for the first time very recently. The 2 I have not seen are his second and third TV movies, Something Evil and Savage.
Okay. How about you, Care? So 31.
Do you think I have more or less than you?
Oh, you have less than me.
I don't know.
For sure.
I've got actually 100%. A really big number.
Each time you've seen Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade doesn't count as a different movie.
So I just went from 157 to 17.
Right.
Oh, wow.
17 more?
I didn't expect that.
Not bad.
I didn't expect you to be 10 less than me.
Oh.
Yeah. 27.
Nice. I had a childhood, man.
So I got to say, Rob, which are the ones you have not seen?
Yeah, I remember 2, Always.
Right.
Haven't seen Always. Haven't seen 1941. And then I can't remember. Oh, Adventures of Tintin. Yeah, I have not seen those 3.
None of them should be high priorities. 1941 is interestingly bad. Always is just boring.
Okay. Well, then I've made the right choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, because you did see The Lost World, and that was not the right choice.
Yeah, a lot of people loving The Lost World on the site right now.
A lot of people need to reevaluate their lives.
Well, Care, how did you define your criteria? Was it pretty straightforward? You have to direct, produce? What did he have to do here?
He just had to do something.
Just something.
Just something. Right?
That's a lot. That's a lot of movies.
Of the major 3 categories. So he either had to direct, not produce. That didn't count. He either had to direct, write, or act in. Because these are we didn't say Steven Spielberg directorial movies, right? You just said Steven Spielberg movies.
Is that Steven Spielberg?
Sorry, he's Yiddish. But anyway, so yeah, those are his 3 criteria, and I feel good about it. I feel the best I've ever felt in my whole life right now.
Did you stick with?
Really sad.
I know, with the 17.
You kind of laid out. You said feature films. That was kind of what you stuck with.
Let me put it this way. I have not, as a criterion, excluded Duel.
Okay.
And I didn't see the other 2 TV movies, so they don't count.
Oh, and feature length. They had to be feature length.
And yeah, I mean, Amblin's not good enough, and his Twilight Zone segment sure as shit isn't good enough. So, for me, that was also a non-factor. For me, I'm limiting it to things he directed.
Directed for me too, although I'd have to go back through the production list and writing list to see if there would be anything that would top my 5.
Not that it would have been in my 5, but I would say for the purposes of definition, I am counting him as a producer of Poltergeist, not as a crypto director, which is a very contentious thing. So
I'm with you. Well, then, Care, number 5. It's number 5 to you.
Oh, we're just jumping right in. No, before we start, I have a thing.
What thing?
I want to do. I have a thing I want to do. So to give myself an edge.
Talking about things I want to do.
Man.
All right. That'll be the last one.
Lay off the seltzer water over there.
All right.
So they will. So now you've completely thrown me off what I was going to say. So back to what I was going to say. So I want to do, because we all love Steven Spielberg and he's the favorite director, favorite person of our lives for all of us.
Yeah, that's
so
strong. Very strong.
Because of that.
I do like my mom.
So favorite movie director, producer, person for all of us.
What?
Mutually.
You're applying that very liberally.
I think it's safe to say. So I think we should all I want to know how good you guys are with, how well do you know Steven Spielberg movies, like quotes? Like, can you do it on the fly? Like, do you know a lot of Steven Spielberg movie quotes?
Yes.
Oh, you do? Okay, what about you, Rob?
No,
can you do it on the fly?
Quotes in general. Actors, like listing actor names, that's I can do in movies.
No, we're not doing that.
I cannot.
But I want to play a little
really
game.
Well. Okay.
And I want you guys to try and fold in.
Here we go. E.T. Phone Home.
Damn, that you took the only one. I
didn't have that one on my
of.
list. So I'm actually very prepared for this.
All
I know I'm just throwing you this on the fly, but I think it's really fun.
Damn it. She's like the only 2 I know. Let me go through my list.
And thanks for calling me clever, too. So I'll give an example. So here's the game. For everybody that's listening, here's what we're going to do. I'm very prepared. I'm throwing this on everybody very randomly else that's in the room. as we go throughout the episode, we're going to try and fold and layer in as many Steven Spielberg movie quotes as we can, very, very subtly, though.
I'll be right here.
Okay. And so...
That was a quote.
It's from the end of E.T.
Oh,
That's when he's like touching
good
Elliot's.
one.
So I'm at 3 right now, and you're at 0.
Doesn't
So you
count
might
yet.
have been prepared. You were far.
Yeah.
Far
Hey, no ticket. Yeah. So it'll be kind of
All
like
right,
that.
all right.
You won't see it coming.
Will it be folded in that seamlessly too?
I feel
Dino DNA.
I'm feeling really less good about this than I did when I first prepared.
Or you know what I like is the color purple pants.
Pence. Is that in there too?
I don't think the phrase "the color purple" is said. The color purple appears in the color.
So that
purple.
one doesn't count.
No, it
And
doesn't
that's
count.
going to
That
be
was a
one of
lie.
those ones that's going to catch you guys and throw you guys a bit for a loop. So I would say, for example, hey, excuse me, Tim, can you please pass me the cup that caught the blood of Jesus Christ? And you would be like, sure, Carrie. And then people would have to just like tease out whether that was from a movie or not, you know?
I mean, but that's not a. I mean, I don't think Indiana Jones says, "Hey, could you pass me the club?"
Oh, yeah. So that's another part of the criteria for the game. So
Yeah, I think you chose poorly.
You're taking all my stuff, Tim.
I know.
All my stuff.
All of them
I
are
don't
done.
understand the game, but somehow.
Stop using it. No more quotes. No more quotes until we actually get into the
So we're
movies.
now at 4-0. So I win. if
4
we're
to
done
0.
with quotes.
Okay, now I'm getting nervous. So, yeah, the rules are you guys have to be 100% accurate in your quotes. I can have up to 3 words wrong in the quote. Okay?
That is a rule.
Sounds like
that
every game we
seems
play
mildly
with our family.
arbitrary.
And for those of you who are listening, try and tally up as many as you can. None of the ones that have been used thus far count because we hadn't started yet.
I beg
And-
your sweet pardon.
Is that another quote?
No, it is not.
And then here's the other thing. Try not to laugh. Try again. Be very subtle and don't use any weird accents to try and be Indiana Jones because that'll give it away. Like try not to
I already sound
use
like Indiana Jones,
Mola Ram's
so
voice
it's okay.
and rip out my heart. So we're going to do that. And then whoever can get the closest wins.
Wait. So
closest to what?
Closest? What are you talking about?
Like, no, for anybody who's listening, the number of times we use Steven Spielberg quotes throughout the entire
So
episode.
are we? Is someone?
So the game isn't that I'm trying to beat you. The game is that some random listener is trying to like.
And we're trying to beat each other. It's like a duel.
Okay.
It's a duel.
So you realize, like, so you're going to go back through the episode and listen and count
Yeah.
to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I am.
Sounds awesome.
I think my 4 count, by the way.
Okay, fine.
Let's
we'll count
talk some
your 4.
movies.
I think
Let's talk some movies.
Clever Girl counts. Clever
Clever
Girl
Girl
was
was
good.
That was good. All right, let's
so
start.
we're counting that one. Good
We'll
luck
count
there.
that one. Fortune and glory. So while we're getting started, I'm going to start with my number 5. Never felt better in my whole life.
By the way, a
because-
lot of crossover
You think so?
for us, Care. Not for Tim and
I am fairly confident at least one film will be on all 3 of ours.
I agree. I would take that bet. Yes. I
I
agree.
don't know. See, I feel like we might not have any overlap.
think 2 for you, Care. You and I.
Okay.
And Tim, yeah, 1.
Let me put it this way. My number 5 is the only one I'm confident won't be on at least one of your lists.
Okay.
Alrighty. Okay, that sounds good. I'm going to jump in. This is a divisive one. I feel like everybody thinks they're 100% right, and I know I do. So I'm going to start with my number 5, which is from 1998. And it's written by Robert Rodat, Saving Private Ryan.
Yep. My number 2.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, Tom Hanks, Matt Damon, Tom Sizemore's in this, Ed Burns. This is following the Allied invasion of Normandy. 2 brothers lay dead in the wake of the onslaught. And so it's I think everybody's most memorable movie for the kickoff of the movie, right, Rob? Like the actual invasion
I would
scene.
like to push back against the use of the word kickoff to describe this scene.
Maybe it was a movie quote.
Kicks things off with like a lot of people getting mowed down with machine guns.
Kicks
Yeah,
things off
it
with
wasn't an
25 minutes
ideal
of
start.
pure agonizing hell.
It wasn't ideal. It definitely wasn't. But that's the part you remember, right?
There's some other touching moments that I recall from, but yeah, the opening is kind of what it's the opening 30, 20 minutes. It's what it's best known for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I loved this movie. I was devastated.
Our
after
top,
seeing
both
it.
of our top war movies. Right?
Yeah,
top
that's
5
right.
war movies.
And I
number
think
1
probably
for,
one of the
for you
more
and I, Kat?
graphic ones I had seen at this age. This was definitely intense, and I think if my mom had known there were going to be intestines all over the place, she might not have let me go see it. So, but I loved this movie. I've never forgotten it. I thought it was really good, and that made my number 5.
Yeah, I loved it too. Number 29 on IMDb's top list. Actually, all of my movies except for one do not crack the 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. So Spielberg, I don't.
To be fair,
Yeah.
I think the number of Spielberg films that don't crack 90 is low.
That's true.
He's a well-liked director.
Yeah.
I can see why.
Here's my hot take. Steven Spielberg, popular.
People like him.
People like him.
The things that I've heard criticized for Spielberg are forcing messages a little too heavy-handedly.
Little bit of a message monger, a little bit over sentimental.
I don't feel like any of the movies I've picked have that characteristic. So, no, I don't think so. Saving Private Ryan, heavy-handed message there?
Extraordinarily.
Really?
Unbearably so.
Well, it's a World War II movie.
Yes,
so,
but that ending, the framework with old Private Ryan is like...
Sure. I see what you're saying.
Not hiding it.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. You care?
No.
You don't pick up on the message there? Okay.
It's been a while. I never watched it again. I was too
devastated.
devastated.
It could. I mean, I wept at that point too, but it could probably have done without that.
It certainly could have done that.
All right. Well, number 5 too, Tim. Carrie just stole my number 2.
So my number 5, again, this is the only one that I'm 100% sure neither one of you have. The others, it's Crapshoot. It's also going to be, I think, pretty divisive. It's a film that was greeted with a great deal of baffled criticism upon its release. Some of that has been kind of scaled back. I think people have gradually been rediscovering it. 2001's AI, Artificial Intelligence.
Oh,
Carrie,
he no nuts. He crazy.
Carrie, do you concur? Is that divisive?
Okay, now if the rule is that you can't break out laughing
No
when
one
you say
heard
your
me.
quote,
I backed away.
well, you looked like you were going to have an aneurysm. That's all I'm saying.
And in the meantime, I snuck in a quote.
Wait, what did you say?
I said, "Do you concur?"
Don't
Carrie?
do it.
Wait, who did
Well, you just
that's from Catch Me If You Can.
You just finished explaining to each other that you're
yours
laughing.
would have been subtle. Mine was weird. Yours was subtle and good. Don't do that. Don't tell anyone. Okay, so
By
go
the
back
way,
to your
So I'm sure
By the way,
everybody's playing this game.
They do move in herds.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
So keep
That's
moving
from Jurassic
on.
Park. Alan Grant says that in Jurassic Park. It's the scene where he sees the dinosaurs and he's like excited. Anyway, so AI, Artificial Intelligence, a film that was originally to have been a collaboration between Steven Spielberg and Stanley Kubrick. Kubrick died, sort of threw the project into disarray, and Spielberg completed it as his tribute to what had begun burgeoning as a friendship between two of the most tonally absolutely
what could they have in
incomparable filmmakers in the world. Respect for talent.
Yeah.
First off, Spielberg likes Kubrick because everyone fucking likes Kubrick. But apparently Kubrick saw something in Spielberg that he admired, even though apparently he despised Schindler's List. So that's part of it. You've got this movie balancing two very, very different authorial voices. And it's very much at times like Steven Spielberg's pastiche of Kubrick in a way that I find very bracing and exciting, even when it's not quite working. I like the imagery. I think it has some astoundingly beautiful shots, some really incredible visual effects work that's all in service to characters. So of course this is a film about a small robot, like simulacrum of a boy named David, played by Haley Joel Osment, who comes into a family's life when they think their son is going to be dead, but the son miraculously comes out of a coma. The parents don't know what to do with David, so they just sort of abandon him. And he spends, the next X amount of time, weeks, maybe months, trying to reconnect with his family. He hears tell of the blue fairy that will help make him a real boy, in a very sad and morbid misreading of Pinocchio, basically. So it's this travelogue for this little robot boy to become a real human, which he cannot do, and that's the tragedy of it. I just think it's a fascinating experiment that to me pays off consistently. I know that a lot of people despise the ending. I think the ending is this amazing, super, super dark, maybe the darkest thing Spielberg has ever put into a film, but it's hidden in this quasi happy ending. Beautiful movie, tonally weird, wonderful, wonderful John Williams score, probably the most experimental thing John Williams has done in the last 30 years. Yeah, this is just a movie that I'm crazy for.
Good one.
There's a review of it on the site that puts all of my thoughts in, I'd say, much more articulate form than I've just done. But
you think Kubrick would have been proud?
I don't know, because I don't think Kubrick would have necessarily wanted such an obvious Kubrick knockoff. But I mean, it's unlike anything else Spielberg ever did. It is maybe his most unusual film.
Have you seen this one?
Yes. Yeah. You haven't seen AI?
No.
Okay.
Oh, you'd love it.
Really?
No.
I
No
don't
chance in hell.
Actually, no. Wait a minute, but I really wouldn't.
I don't think so.
Too sad?
Too fucked up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I get you. So what's your number 5, Rob?
Not fucked up for mine. Mine is rather not fucked up. Pretty run-of-the-mill. Steven Spielberg, fun. fun movie.
Okay.
Talking about 2002's Catch Me If You Can. Had a lot of fun with it. What did I take, Carrie? One of yours?
No, I don't have it on there.
Not a fan of it?
Never seen it.
I love counterfeiting. I love. A lot of people told me that I was this guy. Like growing up in high school, I was the Frank Abagnale Jr. of my time.
You were a compulsive liar?
Yeah. That I could get away with things.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
could get away with things, sneak on airplanes, whatever. Possibly may have done that.
I don't think they were complimenting you.
No, it's not a
gonna say.
compliment, but
All
I had the ambition to do what Frank Abagnale did and just make a life for yourself by lying, cheating, and
Yeah,
stealing.
because life finds a way, and you did. So that's
before
good.
before his 19th birthday, successfully forged millions of dollars of checks and posed as a Pan Am pilot, a doctor, and a legal prosecutor. It's a true story. Guy
Yes,
did
it
this.
is. It truly is. It's
Is
a
the guy in
biopic.
jail now?
I know he went to go
No.
work for the FBI, and now he's, I think, still doing something.
I have no idea
Yeah.
what he's up to these days.
Haven't checked in with good old Frankie Abagnale.
So what'd you love about this movie?
The fact that it was like a
Real.
biography of my life.
Okay.
Your life was not nearly as cool.
No, it's a cat and
will
mouse
say.
game between him and Tom Hanks. The counterfeiting, the playing different characters, faking your way into success. I kind of like that.
Yeah, I like the way that it is the last Steven Spielberg movie that has a satisfying ending. Like he can't end movies anymore, and this one had a good one. It has a really like fun jazzy 60s thing, again with a really good John Williams score. Really amazing credit sequence in this movie. Like the opening credit sequence is my favorite part of this film.
I can't think of it. Also, pretty touching with him and Christopher Walken.
Yeah, Christopher
all
Walken's
all that stuff with him and his dad, and
Also, Tom Hanks is adorably incapable of a Boston accent.
that's true.
Kyle Hanratty.
That
That's
was pretty
right.
good, though.
It's better than Tom
What you
Hanks.
just did there, is
Better
it?
than Tom Hanks.
And
It is.
the movie touches not only on Leo's life and how it's incomplete, but also a little bit on Tom Hanks's
A
life.
little bit.
Yeah,
All right.
It's a reflective kind
Would I
of.
like this? I think I'd like this one probably.
Haven't
not
this?
seen this?
Oh, I think
No.
you'd love this
Oh,
movie.
you would love it, yeah.
I think this would probably have been a contender for your top five.
I don't think so. Wouldn't
Okay.
be over above Saving Private Ryan. So hold on to your butts. I have another really good one for number 4.
Okay, now that one you actually laughed into the microphone.
Shoot. And it's Hook. 1991's
Have you
Hook.
rewatched it
No,
lately?
and I don't even want to know what
It's-
you're going to say.
okay.
It's going to be amazing, and I know what you're going to say. And it's locked in a little treasure chest in my
I
heart.
thought about it.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
thought about Hook.
Yeah. It's written by lots of people. And this
That's
is
always a sign.
I know, of perfection. So here is why this is the perfect movie. So did you guys know that Dustin Hoffman is in this movie?
I did.
I just found this out while I was episode prepping for
Were you
this.
for the last time you saw it?
So when was this? 91? I don't think I saw it in theater. Maybe I did. So I was like 7-ish. And
I can't tell what's more embarrassing. You didn't know that this was Dustin Hoffman, or you didn't know Tropic Thunder was Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, that this was Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah,
that's more embarrassing.
Much more.
No, I don't think people know that.
I think people might.
No, I don't think so.
I'm
I always felt like he
pretty
had
sure
this a
people
little
know.
bit familiar face, a little bit, but I was like, why do I know you? I think I thought maybe he was the Snape. You know?
Alan Rickman.
What?
I think I thought maybe it was
That was Alan Rickman.
because
Okay.
of the black hair. So I'm going to move on to the movie. So if you somehow miss this movie, this is where Peter Pan is all grown up and he goes out and he's married now to Wendy's granddaughter who has 2 kids. They both have 2 kids. And Captain Hook comes and steals their children. So Robin Williams, who plays Peter Pan, has to go back to Neverland and with Tinkerbell, and they have to save the kids with
All 4 kids?
all, just the 2, right?
Well, you said that they both have 2 kids.
Oh, no. Mutually, they have kids together. So there's 2 kids.
Yes.
And
There they go.
he's the Panda Man. Is that right?
What?
Sorry.
So, yeah, I think so. And this has such a good cast. It's Robin Williams, Julia Roberts, Bob Hoskins plays Smee. One of my favorite characters of all time is Rashawn Hammond, who plays Thudbutt. He is
Oh, yeah.
like
Oh, I thought you were
the
gonna say
cutest
Rufio.
thing.
I was afraid you were going to say Rufio.
Rufio comes after Thudbutt, but honestly, the cast of this was so magical and wonderful. And to Tim's point, probably never going to watch it ever again.
Don't. I was
'Cause I
bitterly,
loved it.
bitterly disappointed when I finally rewatched
I'm
it.
keeping it. Its rating is based on when I saw it 20 years ago, and I loved it. So what's your number 4?
Well, I have one thing to say to you.
Yeah.
Leave the guns, take the cannolis.
Yeah, I will.
Right?
Now, are you going to bring...
It's not from a Spielberg film, but it's a good movie quote. It's from The Godfather, 1972, directed by Francis Ford Coppola.
I was like, is that
Right?
another Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah, totally.
So are you going to go next and just bring me one big pile of shit?
I am going to bring you, you're doing this very well.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
admire your quotes.
I'm trying.
I will say top men to you, madam.
Top men.
Men.
Top men.
Top men.
Is that your third movie?
No, my fourth movie, which is
Your fourth movie?
is 1977's Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh, tell me about this one.
Have you not seen this?
No.
Have you seen any movies?
17 of them.
Which 17?
Not the ones that you've seen. Tell me. A lot of people had this on their list. Tell me about it.
So it's 1977. It's his, let me count. 1, 2, it's his third theatrically released feature. Came out the same year as Star Wars. Very huge year for science fiction. So a Indiana-based electrical repairman, Roy Neary, played by Richard Dreyfuss, is one of several people to have a close encounter of the fourth kind, which means he witnesses an alien spacecraft. Mm-hmm. And all of the people who witness the spacecraft become weirdly obsessed with, like, finding where it is, finding what the hell is going on. The U.S. government knows what's going on and is hiding everything. So Roy is one of several people who has visions that drive him ultimately to Devil's Tower in Wyoming. Among the other people he meets there is, I forget her character name, but Melinda Dillon plays this woman whose son was abducted by the aliens. Meanwhile, a scientist played by the French film director François Truffaut has unlocked a sort of musical sign language that he thinks he can use to communicate with the aliens when they arrive. So the whole movie is basically about preparing for an alien visitation at Devil's Tower. And then the last 40 minutes or so of this movie, it's about 2.25 hours long total, are the arrival.
Yeah.
It's the arrival of the aliens. One of the bravura moments in popcorn cinema. Amazing, incredible visual effects. I saw this movie on the big screen last fall when it was re-released for its 30th anniversary. Visual effects hold up completely. They look as good as anything you will see in a movie theater this year.
What year did you say it was
1977.
Again? Okay.
So the class of Star Wars, again, just like one of the defining years for visual effects. Also has some incredible, again, John Williams music, where he's sort of mixing these adventure cues with this very strange tonal experimentation to sort of evoke the aliens. And then the scene where the aliens arrive and communicate is this amazing just explosion of sort of tuneless notes for 3.5 minutes. Really incredible story about just like feeling awestruck more than anything, which I think is what makes it such a great Spielberg film, that his movies are all about this sense of like wonderment at the world. And that's what this film is like saturated with. It's just being amazed at how cool things are. He's later said that he could not possibly have made this film because one of the things that Roy Neary does is just straight up abandon his children and wife. And Spielberg said he would not have been able to make that movie once he had his own children and realized how like unacceptable that was for the character. And I get that. At the same time, I think that the fact that Roy is so blindly sacrificing so much really speaks to the intensity of the need to know that he's like being driven by in this film. Just an incredible motion picture. Like this is a masterpiece without a solitary flaw that I can identify.
Is that another theme too? Is Spielberg has some daddy issues?
Yeah.
In his
So
movies?
there's an amazing thing that happens. So yeah, Spielberg's films are just top to bottom full of daddy issues. Like I think everything we've talked about so far has daddy issues. Maybe not Private Ryan, kind of slightly Private Ryan. The rest have all had daddy issues. There's a great moment on the episode of Inside the Actors Studio where Steven Spielberg, who is not, of course, an actor, talks to the dude, James Lipton. And it's a commonplace in criticism to note, so Steven Spielberg's dad was a computer engineer, his mom was a music teacher, and Close Encounters of the Third Kind climaxes with computers playing music. And so James Lipton brings this up in the interview, Basically, like, so was that you, like, reunifying your parents who divorced when Spielberg was a teenager? Like, it was his way of, like, having a story about both of his parents. And you could see on his face that Spielberg had never, ever considered that as the smallest possibility.
Interesting.
And now that it was brought to his attention, he loved it. And it's so great. So the Inside the Actor Studio with Steven Spielberg is, like, the best episode of that somewhat uneven show.
Oh, I'm gonna check that out.
Are you making this up as you go, though? Because it feels kind of like, I don't know if that's exactly
I'm
a
not
true.
making up a
really?
word, not
I've never
one word
heard
that I've said.
I've never heard that.
Well, when I said the movie's called Close Encounters of the Third Kind, it's actually called Alien Buttfuck Love Story.
It's been a while
I've
since
seen that one.
Oh, okay.
I've seen that one.
It's been a while since I've seen it. I can't recall Dreyfuss's character being off-putting.
Well, he's not off-putting. What he does is something that is off-putting to parents, apparently.
Yeah, and that's I think maybe being a parent now, I would catch it. But as a kid, the things that stand out to me is that sense of awe.
But I mean, let's be honest, Rob. If you had the chance to leave your wife and daughters to go visit aliens, you'd do it in a heartbeat, right?
For sure.
Right? You wouldn't even
Just play those notes. That's
totally.
That's what sticks with me.
That's what he did to me all week.
those
That's why I
notes.
watched all that reality TV all week by myself.
That's a good point.
Sorry, what are you on, Rob?
I'm on number 4.
All right. This is going to be. You're on number 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spielberg, known for his aliens.
We are not moving quickly.
Sorry, we'll do it. We'll go fast now.
Spielberg, known for his aliens. Another alien movie is what I have here. But which one? Which alien movie do I have?
Last
at least
Crusade,
two.
or Indiana Jones 4.
There's at least 3 remaining. I forgot about that one.
No, this one also awestruck me as a young child when I saw it for the first time, and our kids liked it as well when we exposed it to them for the first time this year. That's 1982's E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
My number 3.
Yeah.
Penis breath. You're the worst.
I know. Another daddy issue one. Mainly that
He's
the
just
it's
gone.
absentee father. But the story centers around a troubled child who, actually, it centers more around E.T. as the extraterrestrial, being left and abandoned because people come. The government comes, so E.T.'s left without his spaceship and finds himself at the home of a young boy,
Young boy.
young lad,
Little 10-year-old boy
who takes him
broken home.
Elliot. Thank you. Yeah,
You're welcome.
takes him in, and they form a friendship, a bond, and then the government comes to try to take E.T. away.
Douches.
There's also another challenge that E.T. is making the young boy sick. So this movie,
It's not that E.T.'s
No.
making the young boy sick. That's
They're connected.
they're connected.
It's that their separation via the government is what's making him sick.
Got it.
He gets
I thought maybe E.T. was not feeling well for being away for too long too.
Well, yeah, it's because they have a tie. And I think the most important thing about their connection is that Carrie, the line is actually, it was nothing like that, penis breath. So that even breaks your you can't miss at least 3 words.
Hey man, that one
She
was
said the
subtle.
rules. Oh wait,
3
I say 3 words.
And I
That's
never
what
said
she
I can abbreviate the quote. You don't know how long my quotes are.
This game is a fail.
It's one sentence without even a,
No
like,
one knew when I said penis breath that was from the movie.
Of course I knew that's
4
what that movie was
Oscars.
for.
4 Oscars. This movie.
Nominated for picture and director as well.
This can't be right. Made for $11 million and brought in $800 million.
It brought in so much motherfucking money.
Wow.
This was I believe has had the longest reign of any film as the highest grossing film in history since Gone with the Wind.
You figure it would have made a good video game. I know we just did our top 5 video games.
You would figure that.
You would have thought a good video game would have come from this movie.
Famously bad video game. No, E.T. is a movie that is like so cloyingly sentimental, and I love every minute of it. This is a movie that's all about working through divorce. Again, with daddy issues. Like, it's all about being a lonely suburban boy in California. No one understands what you're going through. Your mom is too busy. Your siblings are dicks. And you find a friend.
And was it
that's
just too sad for you, do you think? Is that why you don't think you had it on your list?
It's my number 3.
Oh,
It's my number 3. It's my number 3.
She's too busy thinking about quotes.
I am. I'm not
Because
even
it's so
listening. I'm not.
unbelievably. There are 3 movies that if I need to cry, like I have some sort of blockage and I need to generate tears.
Yeah.
This movie is one of the 3 movies that I have never once watched without crying. The final scene.
Oh, it's so devastating.
blows me away. I cannot survive the final scene of this movie.
But that's why it's not on my list. It's like I saw it when I was a kid and I was totally devastated. And then I was like, well, I'm going to watch it with our kids when I'm an adult and that's going to be fine. And I was still devastated.
And
Like,
what's great about it, spoilers for E.T., everybody, turn down the volume for a minute. The whole movie, E.T. has not formed any sentences. He has no command of our language, really. He sort of like just spits back nouns and communicates that way. Communicates sort of in this
He has the
emotional...
finger.
He has the finger. But at the end of E.T., he says, I'll be right here. and touches Elliot's heart. I'm going to start fucking crying on this podcast.
No, you are crying.
Because it's like so good because he will be right there.
So sad.
And then he leaves.
I know. I can't. That's why it's not on my list. It just I feel sick.
That's why
right
it
now.
is on my list.
I don't like seeing him white. That creeps me out when he gets all powdery looking.
He looks like a turd, right?
I
Like
do,
a
dried up dog turd. And
We
I
just
don't
did
like
our
that.
top 5 unnecessary sequels. I could see Elliot going back to home. Growing up Honey
for
Thomas.
many years, an ET sequel was something that was being developed. Spielberg always thought it was a terrible idea, so he kept like trying to make sure it was the least terrible idea possible. Supposedly, the reason he made Jurassic Park 2 was because he wanted people to like shut up about an ET sequel. And I don't know if the idea was like, look how bad the sequel is, or like, no, see, I gave you a sequel to, I don't know. But yeah, that was like apparently part of the reason he did Jurassic Park 2 was because he didn't do ET 2, which makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah, I'll show you what an ET2 would look like. It's a piece of shit.
Although if there was a scene where ET ate a dog and like the doghouse was hanging from ET's mouth, that'd be a good scene.
All right, Kara, number 3 to you.
All right, I'm ready for number 3. This one I actually saw on a bad date. The Goonies.
So do you know which one this is?
I was going to say, is it Dark Knight Rises?
No,
Spielberg didn't
1985's
direct
Goonies. The Goonies.
Wait.
This is written by
Which of
Steven
the three
Spielberg.
does he, oh, it's written by him.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
He wrote that.
I don't believe I knew this.
Did you know this, Rob?
Yeah, I don't remember.
So yeah,
I
it's
think so.
directed by Richard Donner.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Written by Steven Spielberg, very well, and this is a classic movie of all of our time.
another 80s
I
childhood
Chunk.
movie.
I
You
haven't
got
seen
Mouth.
the Goonies in a really long time.
Oh, you would love it.
I love the Goonies.
So good. You got Mouth, you got Brand, you got Mikey, you got Chunk. Chunk is so good. Anyway, and all these kids live in this neighborhood and their homes are going to be demolished. So these kids go out and set out on this adventure and they find this like pirate treasure map thing. And then they have to go out and they're trying to, it's like this race against these other kids to get to the treasure first. And they discover all these strange, bizarre things along the way. It's like this childhood action adventure movie that's filled with everything that childhood should be filled with. You know, getting evicted and...
Getting evicted,
trying to
being
get-
chased by pirates.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Baby Ruth?
yeah, exactly. That too, with candy bars and stuff. And so, I loved this movie, and I think this is one that's in the Hook category. Though I'm afraid to see it again.
I think
By all accounts, it holds up better than Hook.
I'm sure
know.
Donner's good with directing kids, but he got pretty lucky with this ragtag bunch, Feldman and Brolin and all of the people that you mentioned. Just it's a great ensemble cast of kids.
Oh,
one of the best.
It's
and
like the Stand By
I
Me's.
wanted to go on the adventure. I created adventures like this in my mind.
You wanted to be that guy with the one eye or whatever.
I went into a lot of sewer drains thinking like I'm going to stumble
Yeah.
upon some sort of quest, and they little FYI, they do not lead to the pirate, whatever his name is, Jones, or anybody remember his pirate?
What was the pirate?
One-eyed Willie.
How many times did you wade knee deep through sewage looking for pirates?
Many times. Damn it. Many times.
So that's my number 3.
Good
and it's a
pick.
classic, and it's a great one.
Good pick, except that he didn't direct it, but that's fine.
I didn't say it had
I
to.
know.
He wrote and
I know.
produced.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's one of the films that is largely acknowledged.
It's
as being,
a Spielberg.
an unusually like not quite to the degree that Poltergeist is, but it's like understood to be a very Spielberg-y film.
Yeah, it doesn't feel very like Donner-esque. Some of the action sequences maybe have a little like that.
I'm not confident that I could articulate what a Donner film feels like.
I was thinking Lethal Weapon.
I mean, because that's the thing. There's Lethal Weapon, there's Superman, and there's The Omen. I don't know if I can
That's
draw
true.
a line
That's
between those
true.
3 movies.
That's true. All right.
If I did, that line would in no case go through the Goonies. So my number 3 was E.T., so it's number 3 to you, Rob.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wow. This is exciting.
Where's it
We were
gonna be?
talking about dinosaurs, and while we're not fans necessarily of the sequels, the original still has a place in my heart. Just helicopter flying out to Jurassic Park for the first time with that. Is it a John Williams score again?
Every one of these is a John Williams score.
Okay.
Unless someone has the color purple, the answer is yes. It's or the Bridge of Spies.
Look at your smile, you son of a bitch. I can't believe you picked this one.
I know. I'm smiling because it's a good pick.
And see, now you've added words to the front side of a quote.
I did that. That's getting
I'm not-
tricky.
I see.
Stop calling me out.
Well, I only have one thing to say to you, which is we'll always have Paris.
Exactly.
Right?
This movie is thrilling. It's funny. I remember a lot of laugh out loud moments as well.
And it's probably worth pointing out that this movie is called Jurassic Park and was made in 1993 because we haven't technically done that yet.
Oh, okay.
Everyone knew.
Hopefully everybody knew. Yes, thank you.
Of course,
Tim.
everybody knew.
Everybody
You
knew,
said
but
dinosaurs.
I
Everyone knew when
actually-
you said dinosaurs.
Sam Neill is the kind of gruff archaeologist as well too, who kind of lightens up as he gets to know the kids. No daddy issues in here, maybe.
No, they don't have a dad.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The kids don't have a dad, man.
You just described the daddy issues.
yeah, that's
literally
right.
just
They
described
want
the daddy
Sam Neill to
issues.
be their dad.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
the issue is that Sam Neill is a shitty man who's like
He
starts
just-
the movie trying to like feign murdering a small child with a velociraptor.
Little
That kid deserved it.
Little
That kid-
Timmy.
That kid
That's
was
like
a dick.
that is
Oh,
my
that one,
favorite
yeah.
scene involving a child in the movie Jurassic Park. Is the one where he like talks about spilling the kid's guts.
It was pretty awesome.
It's
little,
a great-
little
it's a great
Timmy,
movie.
little Lex are in there.
Yep.
Not happy with where it's going now, but I still like watching Chris Pratt. It's fine. It'll be all right.
It's
It's
my
better than
number
Jurassic
2.
Park 3.
Oh, that was your number 2?
This is a 5-star movie for me. This is one of my top 5 of all time.
Nice.
So
You
of
waited.
course.
You waited a while to share that.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I have a hard time watching the ones that come after it, though. And I think I should spend more time. I feel like I'm bitter. I just don't want to like them. But maybe I should try.
Well, they're not good, which is why you should want to. Although
I
I
know,
think,
but the
I think
audience
we've
people
been-
the people that have been like writing in about it I think some people like the ones that follow up.
Wrong.
The special effects here, you mentioned Close Encounters. I feel like I haven't seen it
They're pretty
recently,
great.
but I remember being like, are dinosaurs still among us?
So I've seen it recently. They hold up really well. The one exception, and it's a real bad exception, they're really crappy in the very first time we see dinosaurs. Like the first shot is
Yeah.
the only one in the film that's not good. What they do in this film, 2 really, really simple tricks to make the visual effects sell better. They put them in rainy nights, which is the easiest time to make CGI look good. And they use a lot of really quick motion, like in that scene with the Gallimimus running around.
Oh
So
my
they have a
gosh,
lot of
I just call them
motion
the spitters. Is that what they
That's
are?
not the Gallimimus.
The spitter is the little
different.
frilled.
That's the thing that goes. brrrr.
Yeah, the thing that Newman is
Yeah,
Newman
Newman.
gets spit in the face.
he, like,
Yeah,
tries to give it a
Best
candy
scene.
bar.
Yeah.
It's like here.
What are the Gallimimus?
They're the ones that run around.
Those are the little ones, yeah.
Where Tim
critters.
says like they look like they're going to flock over here, and it's funny because it almost sounds like there's a fuck in a Steven Spielberg movie for children, but it's not. It's flock. But anyway, so that scene like has a lot of speed and motion blur. So in these case, like that's what you do to make CGI look good. You either hide it behind a whole lot of debris, basically debris and low lighting, or you just keep it moving fast. So there are no CGI effects other than the very first scene with dinosaurs where you're really being invited to look for flaws.
I
That's a
don't
mistake
remember.
that
I
filmmakers
did not
never-
realize there was CGI in this movie. The 1993's Jurassic Park had CGI.
Yes.
I thought all of this was like
You thought they
manufactured
cloned dinosaurs?
no, but like CGI is computerized, right?
This is almost certainly best known as the film that ushered in the CGI.
Well,
but
there was.
CGI means wait. Let me ask a question. CGI means it's not there, right?
Yes,
I don't believe you.
they are. I mean, there's a lot of cases where it is.
Yeah, I was going to say like I thought that was the whole point was that
So
they had
they're
like
breathing.
constructed all this stuff.
There are, I believe, about 15 minutes of dinosaurs total in the film. I believe of which 3 minutes are CG. So like
Very
the
upsetting.
T-Rex running behind the Jeep.
Yeah.
That is CGI. The T-Rex like pushing its head down on top of the Jeep. That is an actual. That's
So
a
is
model.
this the best CGI of all time then? Because I would have never known
I
that.
think that's an argument to be made. If you look at the like cost and how thoughtful they had to be about using it, and the fact that frankly the dinosaurs look better in 2018 than like anything in a fucking Marvel movie looks in 2018. Not anything, but
Yeah.
they hold up. The whole CGI holds up really good.
Yeah, so that was my number 2. This movie's perfection to me.
All you're left with is one?
Yeah.
That's all I'm left
Gee,
with.
what could it possibly be that is your
Guys.
number one film?
You don't know me. You don't know me at all.
What are you left with, Tim?
I still have my 1 and my 2.
Okay, you go. 2.
So my
and then
number
we'll
2.
We'll circle back to Care.
My number 2 is 1981's Raiders of the Lost Ark. Collaboration with George Lucas. Really don't know that there's anything to say about it. It is the best adventure movie ever made. And I'm sure Carrie's about to disagree with it in a very narrowly defined way. Harrison Ford plays Dr. Indiana Jones, crusading archaeologist who fights Nazis, finds the Ark of the Covenant, kills Nazis, falls in love with his ex. A lot of good shit happens. There's a little gunfight that isn't, it's or a little sword fight that turns into a gunfight. I mean, what's there to say?
Did you have to narrow it down to one per
No, the only Indiana Jones film that was in contention for this list is Raiders. Raiders is far and away my favorite of the Indiana Jones films. I know.
I didn't say anything.
I know you
Just agreeing with you.
real loud.
Just agreeing.
The only question was whether this was going to be my number 1 or my number 2.
Okay.
And I will say, there is nothing to say about this movie. Everyone knows it. Everyone loves it. It's perfection. It is literally a film. So I said that Close Encounters is without flaw. It has some pacing issues, and it has the thing where, like, maybe the protagonist is an asshole. Raiders of the Lost Ark is actually a film that does not possess any flaws.
It's why that document or those kids did a shot-for-shot remake over like 18
What was
years
that
or
called
10
again?
years of their life.
Like Raiders.
Raiders, the story of the greatest fan film ever made.
If you love Raiders of the Lost Ark,
that's really fun.
I think that's worth checking out. That
so
documentary.
this is my solitary thing that I will say about this movie that everybody knows. So John Williams, I'm going to humiliate myself. It's going to be great. It's going to be great podcasting.
I love that. Yeah.
So John Williams, apparently one of the ways he constructs themes is by writing himself little lyrics and like figuring out like what does he want to say about the character, what does he want to say about like what's going on. So the Indiana Jones theme, he wrote himself a little lyric. To the rescue, Mr. Jones. To the rescue, Indiana Jones.
I like it.
Right?
No, that's good.
You'll never be able to not hear it.
I just what I feel like I don't have is like I've already forgotten what you said. Could you just do it like maybe one more time?
I
don't know if I recall. Lyrics. I'm just trying to memorize it.
I think you can fuck yourself.
That is not a movie quote.
Care, should we
not from Spielberg?
Not from Spielberg.
Should we join hands, Care, as we give our number one?
I don't think we have the same number
Both
one.
of you?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tim.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't think we have the same number one. If you have this same number one, then you're lying, I feel like, for yourself.
What's your number one, Care?
Wait, are you on number one, though?
We did his number 2 ages ago.
All right, we can hold hands if you want. I don't care.
No, it's all right. Now I don't
want to. Have you
want
used
to.
lotion lately?
They're a bit clammy.
Oh, yeah, they look a little clammy.
It's kind of cold in this recording booth.
I don't know. Is it... Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Indiana Jones
Sugarland
and the Last
Express.
Crusade.
No, just obviously.
You have not seen... Well, maybe you have seen the Sugarland Express. I'm not sure which 17 you have
This
seen.
is not your favorite movie from Spielberg.
Of course.
No.
Yes, absolutely. Right
You're
above
just saying
Saving
that
Private
because
Ryan.
you're trying to turn
with
me on.
you people?
No. Jurassic Park,
It
Saving
is
Private
the
Ryan,
third
and
best
Indiana
Indiana
Jones.
Jones
You're just
movie.
trying to turn me on,
I
for
think
sure.
I've shared the story before, but my parents, being from another country, coming here in the 80s, I
learned how to speak English by watching Indiana Jones.
They
and the Last
did,
Crusade.
but I wasn't exposed to I had no idea Raiders was even Indiana Jones affiliated. The first movie that I saw was Temple of Doom, and then the next one was Last Crusade, and I was like,
But you
wow.
have now gone back to see Raiders and can therefore
it's
appreciate
hard.
that it is a better film.
It's hard
I
to
don't
go
know.
back.
I think you've chosen wisely. I mean, I feel like it's a good pick.
It's hard to go
Well,
back.
that one
to.
was super subtle. I like that one.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
It's hard to go back.
This is the best movie that's ever been made in the whole
Talk
world.
about it, Kara. Talk about your favorite
No, I don't
movie
have to
of
talk
all
about it.
time.
Everybody knows. I feel like it's really divisive, though. It either goes Raiders or Last Crusade.
Yeah, I mean, I do know at least one person who puts Temple of Doom as the number one, which is an opinion that is holdable,
Uncommon, yeah.
apparently. But yeah, no, I think everyone says it's one of these two, and the people who say it's Last Crusade are the ones who are wrong, and the people who say it's Lost Ark are the ones who are right.
I feel like what's happening here is that you're just listening to me so you can live longer. You know? I mean, I don't think this is actually your favorite.
No, this is my favorite.
What's that a quote from?
It's Temple of Doom.
Listen to me so you can live longer?
I keep telling you, you listen to me more, you live longer.
And now you did it in
Sure,
racist
Ralph.
voice.
I feel like you
No, that's not a
literally
reason.
just like lost us 100 listeners by doing that voice.
Was it too good?
We need to get Carrie to watch Breakfast at Tiffany's so she can give us a dramatic reenactment of the Mickey Rooney character is what we need to do.
So daddy issues abound in this one, obviously.
Hells to the yes.
But no, what was the other thing that was consistent with his? Oh, the heavy-handed messaging other than... you don't get those in the
that's not
Joneses, do you?
consistent. Sentimentality is a consistent. Messaging is not necessarily.
Yeah.
I just realized that nobody had a film that I assumed was going to be really high on both of your lists. I'm not going to talk about it because it's not on my list either.
Really?
It's a movie about the Holocaust that none of us.
Oh,
Yeah. We're all terrible people.
No. My kid
That's-
could have been in that red coat. I'm not putting that on there. That's too sad.
That's too sad for Carrie to
Too
like.
sad.
Do you
No
like
way.
any sad movies, Carrie?
Oh,
Sad
yeah, no,
movies?
I like some sad. I like The Notebook. That was awful.
Okay, that's true. That is.
Yeah, no, I like
that's
sad.
some
I don't
aspects to
like. So here's what happens though. When I see a movie like Schindler's List, it goes to a dark place, like a dark, sad place.
Yes.
But it goes to a place that I don't even really remember it. Like I've seen it, but I
repressed
couldn't.
Schindler's
I
List. It's not
repress
that
it.
dark.
No, but it makes me sound like it's just it conjures too many things, and I'm like, "Nope, it's gone. Like I couldn't tell you for like $1 million what actually happened.
Carrie,
and
the
even
list
though I've
is an
seen it.
absolute good. The list is life.
That is your opinion. But yeah, we have a match. Everyone's seen this movie, so I don't have to talk about it. But I feel like this culminates as like the best. I mean, it's his dad. It's a dad quest to get to the Holy Grail. Indiana Jones. They go out. He has to go in his father's footsteps to try and find and stop the Nazis along the way. And then somebody pointed this out on the comments too. Elsa is definitely the best Indiana Jones babe. You're a Marion fan, aren't you?
I mean, as a character, at least.
She's a better. Marion's a better
who do you take
character.
on a
Flat
date?
out as a love, like
Who's your love
object
interest?
to look at.
Yeah. Who do you pick?
The Nazi girl, who
Yeah.
I think is the most interesting.
Alison
Clearly,
Doody?
Marion.
Oh, yeah. I feel like you would end up with a Marion, though, in general. I feel like you would.
Probably.
And
Yeah.
I know in Raiders,
Well, I don't like blondes.
he plays
Yeah.
off of Marion, but his banter, him and Sean Connery, even though like they're,
Clearly,
they're like 10 years apart.
I want to
in
see
age.
him and Sean Connery.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, they kind of like by way of
They do
By way
he
of
does
duty.
He does get second song. I'm just saying she could be. I'd say some duty is the middle of a Jones sandwich. Anybody here? Anybody else?
You're the only one.
All right.
Here's a question for a movie that I've seen 1,000 bajillion times. When they go around in that little circular stone thing and the woman screams something, what is she screaming? You know
What are
when,
you talking
You know when they
about?
go in the fireplace and they spin around.
Oh,
What does she scream? She like
she's
smiles.
screaming.
alarm.
What's an alum?
Alarm.
alarm.
Oh
Oh, that woman. I thought you meant. Oh, yeah. no.
Alarm.
no, I don't think so. I think she's
Pretty
saying
sure.
allies.
No.
Allies.
No. Alarm.
Do you think
Because
it's
you know what
alarm?
you know what happens.
I don't
right,
have this movie committed to memory.
You want to know what happens right after she says it?
What?
They turn on the alarm. That's how I know.
But they would
All
also
these
turn on the
years.
alarm if she said allies.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
But I
it's-
think she says alarm.
Yeah.
Who, you guys be the
Because
judge.
I don't think you would say allies.
Who is right?
at the time there weren't any allies.
When is this? Is this one set in 38?
It's well he goes. They're doing the book burning, and he meets Hitler.
Well, I
on
mean,
the streets.
Hitler was around.
I think he was not necessarily.
Well, the
like-
first one's in 30. Raiders is 36. Temple of Doom is 35. So it has to be later than 36.
Oh, then maybe.
So Hitler was like well on his way. So the Anschluss was in 37, and the invasion of Poland was 38.
But
if
there
I
weren't
recall
any. But
correctly.
there weren't any allies yet.
Well, the Allies sort of came into being after the invasion of Poland.
All right, it's alarm. I'm feeling good.
Somebody confirm
Someone's
for
going
us.
to correct us.
So that's our number one.
That's our collective number one.
That's
That's it.
surprising. So what's your number one then? I don't even
Movie-
know.
You don't even know.
Oh.
You don't know me at all.
No, actually, I don't. Wait.
I-
You already said Raiders. Oh, yeah.
So he peaked for you, huh?
He peaked real high. So this is the third movie on my list that is flawless. 1975's Jaws. And whereas Raiders is flawless because it's this tightly oiled machine, Jaws is flawless because it was basically like Armageddon on a boat. And Spielberg ended up with this incomprehensible pile of footage, and the shark didn't work, so they had to like fake it with like barrels. And so he just dumped all this in front of poor Verna Fields, and was like, Verna Fields, who is an icon to the new Hollywood generation as an editor, please make this into a movie. And she made it into the best movie. Jaws is so unbelievably superlative as an adventure film, as a character drama. It is, I think, it is this wonderful hybrid of the like crazy ass popcorn movie, which it invented. It is the first movie to gross $100 million U.S. domestic box office in its first run. So it invented the blockbuster as we know it, while also telling a story of working class resentments and sort of character dynamics between three very, very different men. You have this sort of bookish, like neurotic police chief. You have this burly asshole fisherman, and you have this like tweedy little urban twit, all working together, combining what is best about them to fight this giant shark.
Do you feel like they could have been better prepared if they had a bigger boat?
I think they needed a bigger boat.
So here's another question to you too, though. I think so. Try to compare what's actually going on in that movie relative to a Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is honestly like really awesome too, and a Last Crusade. Like it is just a man on a boat and there's a fish. Like there's a lot
man on a boat and a
less.
fish.
Yeah, but there's a lot less going on. Like that's a whole lot less involved and
But that's the
complicated.
thing. That's what makes it so wonderful is that there's nothing to it. It's three guys on a boat.
Yeah, but it's like I
But
could
the
have done
three
that,
guys
you
on
know?
a boat, but you didn't.
I should have.
You should have, because
Yeah.
then you would have made the best
Yeah.
movie. But then, like, yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's such a simple, pared down scenario that yields so much in terms of tension, in terms of character dynamics.
What character dynamics? You
You just walked through.
I think you've got these three very different
No, I
archetypes.
know,
of
but I don't
masculinity.
think that you're like tense and worried.
Yes.
Like,
And here's why.
Yeah, tell me why.
Because of the scene where Robert Shaw, in a very long take, talks about his experiences falling into the sea after delivering the atomic bomb on the USS Indianapolis. Which was a scene not in the book, invented like maybe a week before they shot it. A whole bunch of people worked on the script, and then Robert Shaw basically just revised the whole thing so it would be in his own voice. Best scene in the movie, and it's entirely about just like, who are these people sitting on this creaking, miserable wooden boat in the middle of nowhere. And I say creaking because like the wood sound effects in that scene are like killer, but so is the performance. So is like the very quiet, like string heavy, like trilling in the background on the score. Again, John Williams.
that's all he does.
That's all he does.
It's his thing.
But this movie is so fucking perfect. Like the screenplay, I timed this out once. It's in my review that's on the site. By the 15-minute mark, we have been given so much exposition, so much plot set up, and it feels entirely invisible and inorganic as it's happening. Like I don't know how someone makes a movie this well-oiled and efficient that's also this much fun. It's like it's awe-inspiring to me that this movie got made. It is so perfect.
5 stars for you?
10 stars on a 5-star scale.
It's like divided by 2, so it's like the 5. Yeah,
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, every week we ask you to share your picks and thoughts for a chance to win a free Amazon movie rental. Based on the results, here were your top 5 picks. Tied for number 5, we had 4 movies.
I think I'm going to win this week.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind,
Yep.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade,
Okay.
AI,
Yep.
E.T.,
Yep.
Damn it.
all standing at number 5. At number 3, the movie that none of us had, Schindler's List. We should feel ashamed of ourselves.
Too hard.
You know, it's like...
Too
It's a
sad
great
for
movie.
Tim.
It's a 5-star movie. It's a phenomenal character study. It's a little as a story about the Holocaust. It used to be my number 5. Every time I think about AI, it rises. Like every time I do a Spielberg ranking, AI gets higher. So eventually AI will be my number 1.
Edging out Schindler's List, Jurassic Park. At number
Yep.
3, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I kind of did a football reference there. That doesn't count as a quote?
No.
All right.
No.
Raiders of the Lost Ark at number 2, and number 1 with a bang, Jaws. Way at the top.
So who won all the fortune and glory?
Sounds like I went all the
That's
fucking
pretty
way,
much
Kim.
Tim,
I
safely.
meant from a listener perspective. I don't care about...
Oh, who won? Who
Tim.
won? Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh, that
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, there's a winner. Every week there's a winner. This
Every
week's
single
winner,
week.
it's Montana Boone, who had Jaws at number 1.
Montana Boone, you have a phenomenal screen name. Thank you.
Also
we
had
didn't
Jaws
like
at
send
number
out
1.
anything, like any... How do they win? I mean, do they have to have like a ticket or no ticket or, whatever?
This game is a failure. Is that a quote? Is that a quote?
It's in there somewhere.
Number
Carrie,
5.
I would like you to say hello to my little friend.
He had number 5, had Last Crusade, 4 Jurassic Park, 3 Saving Private Ryan, 2 Schindler's List, and number 1 Jaws. A little eclectic mix of some of ours there. Montana, shoot us an email at contact@alternatending.com for details on how to claim your free Amazon movie rental. If you want to win a free Amazon movie like Montana, be on the lookout for our spoiler alert or top 5 movie posts on Facebook and Twitter to share your favorite picks. In closing, just want to thank everybody for listening. Check us out on social media. Go out to our Facebook page and like it. Hit us up on Twitter. We're tweeting all the time. alternatending.com, where you'll find our movie reviews, podcasts, and more. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or Google. Leave us a review on there too, Carrie. I haven't checked back there for a
I
while.
think people have been leaving reviews, but not like word reviews.
Oh yeah, keep
just
giving
stars.
us star ratings. Get us up there.
5 stars. And actually, if you don't even listen on iTunes, but you just listen on the website, which actually we know most people do, you can still go out to iTunes, and that helps us out a lot just to leave a star rating too.
Please do.
And don't forget about Patreon. We still have that critic review up for grabs right now, the Critics' Choice Award. I want to grab that before anybody else does. Next episode with Blockers hitting theaters next weekend, and Prom just around the corner. That happens around springtime, right? May? April?
So May.
March?
You know, like April-ish.
I don't really know.
Blockers happen. So
Blockers
we're sort of
happens.
Like, all right, well, Prom is the thing.
Yeah, we're doing the thing. So it's top 5 prom movies.
Oh geez.
Yeah, take you back to high school.
This one's going to be a little tricky. I've been looking at prom movies, and there are fewer than you think.
Are there any college prom movies?
I don't think
That was a thing. We had a college prom.
There are college formals.
Formals, darn it, different thing.
So if we're going to say just all formal dances held in an academic institution, that's a different thing than proms.
Oh,
so
we'll-
I'm willing to.
we'll see what
I'm
our
willing to
definitions
flex
come
the
back with.
definitions.
Come prepared with all of your prom stories from college,
and all of your
to make it weird.
prom quotes.
Yeah, I've already got mine prepared.
And you know what? May the force be with us, everyone.
We'll catch you then.